think we're good, right? Problem solvers, time will fall. Test, 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 test. Perfect. Perfecto mundo. Well, why do I feel like my voice is mad low, or is it just me? Is it good? Testing, 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 testing. Mr. Kendall, Earth to Kendall. Wake up! The phone. The phone is ringing. Alright. It's testing, I like that. Gonna give everybody till 7:25. We'll give everybody 5 more minutes and then we'll get started. What's going on, team? Welcome to tonight's isolation session for April 28th. I almost said May. April 20th, 2025. First isolation session of the week. Already took a trade today. Perfect trade that was given last night during the Asia session, the market open for the week. It was a pretty good trade. Congratulations to you guys, man. We did it. Right? Without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to do it. We passed the funded account. So again, congratulations, man. That's a win in everybody's book. Remember what we talked about? For the most part, I'm not gonna be. It's funny because I have another friend that's a trader, who I also met in gaming, and he just had his first 5-figure week payout. I don't think you know him. Well, you definitely don't know him. I don't think he's ever joined the Discord when you were in there. Nah, nah. Almost, man. He's done it. He's done it. He's done it. I think once or twice. Um, Evasive. Yeah, I think so, if I'm not mistaken. Um, but either way, right? Congratulations to him. I think it's 21,000. He had like 6 different accounts or 5 different accounts. So that's huge, right? And especially him. I know he's had a tough year. I'll say that. Um, Not tough in a lot of losses, just more psychological effects of trading more than anything else. Self doubt, hearing the shit that you hear around you. Especially him. Like we pretty much we grew up in the same area too, which is cool. So I understand the culture. The people that he's surrounded by. Obviously, it's Miami, right? It's Florida. You're gonna get a lot of haters, right? So I'm glad that he was able to push through that and finally get what he deserves because he's been grinding and I know he has. So congratulations to him. And again, congratulations to us guys. Remember this funded account. For the most part, the conversation that I had with him too. Just to say this, I know I want to. Well, I said 7:25, right? So we still got 3 minutes to talk shit. Um, my whole thing as to why I never wanted to do prop firms was mainly the fact that I know I'm not gonna get paid out what I'm supposed to be owed, right? Especially once I start getting the 100K accounts and the 200K accounts, stuff like that. But that's a different conversation for later, right? We'll talk about that when we get there. But you guys know that this account that I have is only a 10K, nothing crazy. Why did I get a 10K? For 2 reasons. The number one reason, again, for the most part, what I want to do with this account is for you guys here, use that money to help fund your guys' accounts, right? Especially for the people who are on our WAP, our membership, right? The people who are in our membership, the people who are going through the course, are doing one-on-one sessions, they're really practicing and really getting to understand what trading really is and what to look for. Those are the people that I want to help get to the next level. So whatever it is, whether it's using the profits on that 10K account to help you guys buy a funded account, do giveaways like we've been talking about, those are all stuff I want to do with this account. So um, the second thing, obviously, going to my first point, which is again, I don't know if I'm even going to get a payout from these firms because again, when we're speaking about the 100K accounts, obviously, um, So, my whole argument as to why I never wanted to get a firm is like, I'm not gonna spend $500 and waste a month of my time trying to pass the challenge and then wait another 2 weeks to get paid out, all for them to tell me that, oh, they can't pay me out because they don't have enough funds for it. Or they're not gonna say that, obviously. They're gonna tell you that you hard breached your account and it blah 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 blah. You know how it is, even though we've only taken 4 trades in a month. You know what I mean? But we're a hard breach. You know how it is. So the fact that I'm going to buy the firm with the money that I make with the profits is all good. I don't have to worry about making a little dent in my fucking bank account trying to buy a 100K account to get scammed. So that's really what it is. What's good, Albert? Welcome to the stream, my brother. Appreciate you being here. Welcome, welcome. So again, guys, it's gonna be a wild 6 months. I'll say that these next 6 months up until the end of the year is gonna be a lot different than what we've seen here on the YouTube page in the last 2 years. So just gotta level up, man. I'm still waiting that 10K account. I'm just still waiting for them to activate the funded account. Um, I have my credentials, but I tried to place an order just to see if I could open a trade, but it said I was still not active. So they have both C Trader and Match Trader. But I don't think I'm using Match Trader because I don't think C Trader is in the US. So I'm literally just taking the trades and like I don't care what platform, bro, because it's not like I'm gonna mark my charts. Like all I'm doing is opening and closing the trade, and all platforms are pretty much the same. Not really, nothing really different exactly. I will say this. I mean, obviously you'll have to be careful with some charts. The price point difference might be the only difference. So you just want to make sure that you're not placing the numbers from TradingView on Match Trader or vice versa, obviously. You're Vanessa in the building. Was goody, was goody. Give everybody another 2 minutes, man. We'll talk 1 minute, 7 at 28. We'll give everybody 60 seconds. But again, guys, any questions? Anything that we've talking about in the last 6 minutes? Any questions about that? Any questions about any pairs you guys are looking at? We took one trade today. This morning was GCAD. We'll go over that once we get to GCAD. We'll go over the trades that you see on the right hand side with the red flag next to their name, starting off with AU, finishing off with US oil. From the top to the bottom, if you guys have any questions about any other pair, whether or not they're on our list, just let me know, and we will go over them. Any questions about any entries or anything that you guys saw on your charts, let me know, and I'll go over them too. It doesn't have to be strictly what we do here. It could be whatever you guys want. 15 seconds, we'll get started. Alright, so AU. At this point, I don't think we have to update anything on the daily time frame just yet. We're at the end of the month, so I'm not really gonna pay much attention to the daily time frame continuations. Obviously, we'll talk about where we're at overall. We'll start the week off fresh, see where we're at, what we could look for, and then we'll go on from there. So AU, we're in A2, going into level 3, right? We gave the level 3 drop. We know price may gave us what? Price gave us a lower low, right? It made a lower low. Now we're looking for a lower high. Once again, same thing we've been talking about every single time we look at structure. We talk about structure is all right. We have a lower low. Where is that lower high going to be set? Right? We have a whole bunch of confirmations and points of interest as to where we could be expecting a pullback to be. So we just got to keep an eye on price every time it reaches that point of interest. Right? Our first point of interest was the 50 EMA. Our second point of interest was the high of this zone here. Right? Our third point of interest, the 200 EMA. The fourth point of interest, right, if we were to use our fib, would be a 50% retracement, anywhere between 50% and 61.8, right? And if we add our fib here, we can see that we're reaching those zones, right? We reached the 38.2. Next up is the 50% and 61.8, right? So we already have point of interest number 4. Oh, I'm muted. You're good. Um, you're good. You have 4 points of interest, right? You have you have all of these, right? Then you have 4, 50%. Then you have 5, 61.8, which is also in 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 the same spot where the 800 EMA is at, right? So you have all these different points of interest, right? So then the next question should be, well, Lewis, I have a question. You have the points of interest. Do you take the trade as soon as price gets into your point of interest? No, right? Because what if price does the same thing that it did in the first three? As soon as it gets into your point of interest, it goes straight into stop loss, right? It just keeps going. So what do you wait for? Well, okay, you know these points of interest are in the daily time frame. So let's talk about it like if we were here, right? So in the daily time frame, this is where we're at. So now we start going to the first and foremost. What are we doing in the daily time frame? I'm sorry, Albert. You said why not KOT Forex? GBPUSD setup was close. What do you mean about KOT? And yeah, we'll go over that GU setup. GU moved really nice today. But I'll give my insight as to why I was kind of just brushed away from it. I'll give you a little bit of the insight once we get there. So in the daily time frame, where are we? Right? We know that we're still making higher highs and higher lows. But okay, cool. You go down to the lower time frame. What is price doing in the lower time frame? Well, in the 4 hour time frame, you can see, okay, yeah, we're kind of still trending up, but it's also like a little zone of consolidation. Well, on top of the zone of consolidation, what else does this look like for us? Right now, this looks like a shoulder head shoulder, right? So we already know that in the 4 hour time frame, for us to even consider to take trades going short, again, long term, I'm a day trader. I'm not a scalper. I'm not a swing trader either. I'm a day trader. So what does that mean? I want to make sure that the trade that I catch is anywhere between STP and the ADR for the day. What does that mean? Right? We know how many pips a pair is going to move. Every single pair in the market, we know exactly how many pips on average it's going to do every day. So we go to the 30-minute time frame. What does that mean? Right? That means that every time I trade AUD I want to catch anywhere between 83 pips. Well, let's recalculate because STP here isn't calculated. Right? So ADR is 87 pips. STP is 58 pips. So I know that on AU, I want to catch the trade that's going to get me anywhere between 58 pips and 87 pips. I'm not trying to scalp. I'm not trying to swing holding for 3 weeks. I'm just trying to day trade. I'm a day trader, right? I get on the chart. I'm looking at the direction of the chart of the pair. If it's going in my direction, I'm taking the trade and I'm holding that trade up until the ADR or the STP for the day is hit. That's it. I'm not looking to take more. I'm not looking to take less. If I take less, we're looking at structure. But at least I'm trying to take STP. With that being said, going back into the 4 hour time frame. Where are we on the 4 hour? Well, we know for us to look for that day trading move where we're going to be looking for price to make the lower high into the lower low, the confirmation for me in this area that price is going to start to give us that lower low. And once again, let's go to the daily time frame. For us to say that price is going to give us a new lower low, again, because we're trading lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. In order for us to say this is going to give us the lower high here and then go all the way down into the lower low, what do we need to see on the 4 hour time frame? We need to see a break of those lows, right? And why those lows? It's very simple, right? It's a little shoulder head shoulder, right? If price were to give us this valid shoulder head shoulder, we'd have that break, right? And we'd have the continuation. So now, okay, boom, you know that in your point of interest, price is still giving us uptrends in the daily. It's still giving us uptrends in the 4 hour, right? I'm sorry. Now we go to the 30, right? What is price doing in the 30? Well, in the 30, it gave you a change of character and it gave you another low. Was it a break of structure? No, it's a testing candle. What does this tell you already? It tells you price isn't ready to continue to go down. It's going to start faking traders out. If you think that this is lower low, lower high, and lower low, if you don't know what a valid break of structure is, how many traders, guys, just think about it. How many traders do you think took a trade here at the 30-minute high? How many traders do you think took a trade here when price gave you lower low, lower high, and an exhaustion candle here into the lower high? How many traders do you think took a trade? Let's draw this out too, right? Resistance, what was that shit called? Support and resistance in between levels, right? Where you see price rejecting this retest, right? How many traders do you think traded going short to hold into a lower low during the end of Asia going into London? How many traders do you think did that same short in NYC? And then what happened? Boom, straight into stop loss. So imagine if you're a swing trader and you don't know market structure. You were in profit, right? If you're a swing trader, you were in profit 45 pips and you gave that shit right back. Straight to stop loss, right? If you're a scalper, maybe, you know, scalpers are a little bit of a different conversation because I'm sure they're looking at these levels here. So we'll give it the benefit of the doubt to the scalpers, right? Because we know scalpers aren't really looking for long range. They're looking for just one pip, and then they're happy with one pip. You know, word to our fellow YouTube streamers out there, right? And if you're a day trader, obviously you're looking for the move of the day. You're done. Your stop loss would have been hit. So again, market structure is very important, guys. Understanding market structure, understanding candlestick analysis, why this is a testing candle, why these lower lows and lower highs aren't valid. It's going to allow you to get away from losing trades as often as you possibly can, right? So very important. So that to me is where, again, once price gets into your points of interest, I don't care that price is in my point of interest. That doesn't mean I'm getting in. No, what do I want to see? In my point of interest in the 30-minute time frame, I need to start seeing that price is going to give me the downtrend pushes. That means I want to see a clean change of character. That means I want to see a clean break of structure. If I don't have a clean break of structure, there's no trade. There's nothing here for me to take. I don't care how good this look. I don't care that this is an exhaustion candle. I don't care. I don't care about what this looks because market structure comes first. If price isn't giving me a valid break and then a retest, I'm not expecting price to go back down and give me a lower low. I'm expecting price to either just consolidate and just hit stop losses until it gives us the break, or I'm going to be looking for price to do what it's doing right now, which is it's going to give you the inducement of the lows and then start giving you higher highs and higher lows, right? To continue that uptrend push that we could see on the daily time frame, right? This is why understanding every time frame is important, because if you're a trader only looking at the 30-minute and you're not looking at the bigger picture that this move is just a little pullback, then you're going to lose. You're going to think that this is where price is going to give you lower lows and lower highs, right? So very important, guys. Like, and again, these rules, and the craziest thing is a lot of people think that these rules, oh, these rules are only going to work for his strategy. Like, you guys have to understand something. Like, when people ask me what strategy I use, there really isn't something that I could say that makes sense because I trade the market. We're looking at every single strategy, right? There's people who are, oh, I only use Fibonacci's. Like, okay, cool. Like, if that works for you, that works for you, right? I'm not gonna have another stream where I'm knocking traders, right? But it's like all of these tools that the market has. If you look at our screen, like I use the most effective. I'll say this. I'll use the most effective tools, right? Do you see harmonic patterns in my charts? No, because I know the harmonic patterns aren't something that are very effective. Are they useful? Yes, but they're only useful in my opinion when I've done my back test, right? I know that the harmonic patterns are usually only the best when you're in peak high territory or peak low territory. So if a certain pair is not in peak high or peak low, you're not going to be having the efficient and the best entries using the harmonic patterns, which means you're going to have a 50%, a 60%, a 70% win rate on your trades. And again, that's very good. There's nothing wrong with having a 50% win rate as long as your risk management is good. However, it's a different ball game that we're playing, right? So all of these tools that you see on our screen, the EMAs, the ADR, whenever we add the fib retracements, right? All of these tools and even the patterns that we use, double bottoms, double tops, shoulder head shoulders, the 30-minute highs, the 30-minute lows, the 4-hour highs, the 4-hour lows, the daily highs, the daily lows, the engulfing candles, the exhaustion candles, the gaps in the market, right? All of these tools, all of these strategies, all of these different candlesticks analysis, all of them work. But first thing is first is market structure and overall market maker's pattern. If you don't know the overall trends, you're going to lose the trade because you're going to think, and this is the reason why then we'll keep continue once we go through this, but it's been a minute. I haven't done a session like this where I'm talking a lot in a long time. If you're trading and the daily time frame is giving you lower lows and lower highs, lower lows and lower highs, right? You have to start thinking of this as pieces of the pie, right? It's a picture within a picture within a picture within a picture. In the daily time frame, you see lower lows and lower highs, right? In the 4 hour time frame within the daily time frame, whenever price is at a lower high, what do you see? You see lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, right? Lower low, lower high. And then inside of that 4 hour trend that you see, you also have the 30-minute trend, right? So let's take a step back. If on the daily time frame, price is at a lower low, right? And you don't understand market structure and you go to the 30-minute time frame and you see price in the 30-minute time frame giving you higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? How many traders do you think will take another trade at the higher low to continue into a higher high? And then as soon as they take the trade, boop, price goes and starts going down and makes a new lower low in the daily time frame. And then what do they blame it on? The fact that the fucking market traders are looking at their screens. They reversed on me. It's like, no, right? You were trading in the 30-minute trends, but that 30-minute trend was the daily market structure. Understanding that you were trading at a lower low and you were just catching a pullback into the higher high, you should have known that that's where you should have taken profit because you're at a higher high. You know, or you're at a lower high. You know price is going to go down and start making lower lows now. So it's very important to understand market structure. When you're trading, you have to look at the charts as a picture within a picture within a picture. The daily time frame. Inside of the daily time frame, you have the 4 hour structure. In the 4 hour time frame, inside the 4 hour structure, you have the 30-minute structure. And it keeps going. Inside the 30-minute structure, you have the 5-minute structure. And inside the 5-minute, you have the 1-minute structure. And then you go to the 1 minute, and then you have the 30 seconds. And then you have the 15 seconds. And then you have the 5 seconds. And then if you want to do high frequency trading, well, that's only 1 minute. I don't think they do seconds. They probably do 30 seconds. But that's a whole different conversation. Right? So with that being said, I hope that made sense. Let me know if you guys have any questions about what I just said. If you need me to give you an example of that. Again, saying it out loud, it really doesn't make so much sense. Right? And I know that 100%. Right? But when you see it in the charts, that's when it really makes sense. That's when it clicks, and that's when you're like, oh man, yeah, I can see that now. Give me 1 second, guys. Sorry about that. So let me know in the chat if you guys have any questions about that. Sorry, 1 second, guys. Had to close my door. It's fucking freezing in here, man. Alright, so no questions in the chat. I'm gonna keep going, guys. Again, this is the time when you guys are supposed to be asking questions. Really engaging, man. Especially now that we don't do these YouTube streams every single day, man. This is the time to ask questions. Again, there's no such thing as a stupid question at all. A question that you might have, somebody else might have. So, is that a question mark? What happened? You don't hear me? Yo? Yo, 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 yo. What'd you put a question mark for? No, let's see the question mark. Above that one? You're stupid. Um. Um. So Albert, to answer your question, why not KOT? I'm assuming you're asking why I'm not using the KOT Propfirm. Is that what you're asking? And then yeah, the GU setup, we'll go over that once we get to GU. The problem is that they have the 30-day limit shit for phase one, and then phase two is 60 days. And again, you already saw how the last 3 weeks went. So it's like, again, if I get it, where it's like, the thing is this: prop firms back in the day, that was the industry standard, right? But the problem is this: back then, what was the mindset of a trader back then was, oh, you're not a real trader unless you could take a trade every single day. That was the mindset, and that was the again. It wasn't even the mindset. That was what was popping on social media. That's what sold on social media. A lot of these trading gurus back in the day, they would show profits every single day because that's what people wanted to see. People didn't want to see you making 200K on one day of the month. No, they wanted to see you do that shit every single day. Cause why the fuck would I want to be a trader if I could only do that shit once a month? I want to be a fucking gazillionaire. You know what I mean? So that was the mindset of a trader back in the day. So what did these prop firms do? They know how to sell. They would give you the what you wanted. Oh, in order for you to be a real trader, you got 30 days to trade, right? But then what happened months down the line, prop firms realized, yo, why are we not making any sales? Because a regular trader, a regular person is not going to be able to pass in 30 days. Can you do it? Absolutely. You could do it in 2 trades. You could do it in 1 trade. You could do it in 1 day, right? But realistically speaking, a real trader, when we're speaking about a real trader, not a gambler, right? Not somebody that gets a fucking payout one day, then loses the account, then has to do another face challenge, then gets another payout, and then loses 3 more challenges, and then gets another account and buys 10 more accounts, right? No, we're speaking about a real consistent trader. And once again, we've been streaming for 2 years here. You guys could go back and you guys could see that it's been the same thing for the last 2 years, right? We just had 3 weeks where we had 0 fucking trades. So a regular trader who needs to fucking trade because he only has 10 days left, which realistically speaking is only 5 trading days left. Think about that. What do you think is going to happen to a trader that still needs to get 10% in 10 days, in 5 days? He's going to start over trading. You're going to lose the account. You're not going to be able to pass the account, right? So that's the problem with that 30-day rule. And that's the reason, Albert, why I don't trade with KOT's firm. Because I believe right now they're one of the only firms that still has that rule, and it's stupid as fuck. There's no reason for them to still have that rule. Because again, a real trader is not going to take a setup unless his rules are being present in the chart. And it doesn't matter what strategy you use, your strategy does not show up every single day on the charts. I'm 100% sure of that. It doesn't matter what strategy you are using on the charts. If you go and you backtest and you backtest correctly, your strategy does not show up every single day on the chart. Now, because you decide to take a trade every single day, that's on you. But I will bet you $1 million right now that your setup does not show up every single day on the charts. 100% sure of that. So that's the reason why I don't trade with KOT. However, on their prop firm, of course. However, as a broker, yeah, they're perfect. As a broker, I've been using them since I first started trading. So I will say that about KOT. If there's one thing I would change about their rules, it would be that 30-day, 60-day rule. That shit is stupid. So EA, we're in level 3. This is one that I'm not really gonna pay much attention to. We still have that gap at the bottom. We're still trading higher highs and higher lows. We're good. But if we go down to the lower time frames, where are we? We're stuck in the zone of consolidation. Prices rejecting lows, rejecting highs, rejecting lows. Not really giving us clean break of structures of lows either. Just testing candles the entire time. Price today just consolidated and trapped traders all day. We have 3 days where price has been moving sideways. So not really interested in EA. We could skip around on that one. So funding pips has a better policy. How far back should you go with the change of character? What do you mean about that question? With how far back should you go with the change of character? I don't get that question. Funding pips has better policy. Yeah, and any firm at this point, like they're really, unless you're going through a firm that's obviously scamming, um, if you stay within the reliable firms, Funding Pips, Capital Com, FOMC, if you have a chance to trade with them. I can't because I'm in the US, but I've heard a lot of good things about them. Or what did I say? Oh shit, man. Yo, I'm faded, bro. Yeah, fucking FTMO. Sorry. Um, I can't trade with FTMO, but I think that was like one of the first firms that started way back in the day. So if you have a chance to trade with them, but at this point, any firm that doesn't have a fucking 30-day, 60-day rule, yeah, it would be better policies. Um, but again, I would just be very careful with firms. Obviously, like I wouldn't really say that to a beginner trader because unless you're just the best, you're not really expecting to make a five-figure payout as a beginner trader. So at this point, I would go with any firm that you feel comfortable with. Again, go with one that's already known. Funding Pips has a good. Obviously, they're reliable and their accounts are pretty cheap. If you see a fucking firm selling an account for $5, I saw that today, brother. If you buy that account, natural selection at its finest. Who was it? Darwin? What was his name? Is that the guy's name that does natural selection? Dude, no way, man. Are we serious, man? Alright, bro. Yo, am I bugging? Like that was definitely the name, right? No, bro. We are talking about two different things right now. Am I bugging? Did I say it the wrong way? It is Darwin. At least I did say. Whatever, bro. I think I. Anyway, how far back should you go with change of character? I'm not. I don't know. What do you mean? The change of character is only the first step. So, like for example, I'll draw it out so it makes a little bit of sense, right? So, like if price is giving you lower lows and lower highs, right? The change of character is the first higher high that price makes, right? So if you have lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, when price gives you the higher high, that's the change of character, right? Or vice versa. If price is making higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, and price goes and makes lower low, that first break, right? That lower low, that's the change of character, and then the second break is obviously the break of structure. With AUDUSD, let's go. Let's see. When we're looking at the 30-minute, for example, yeah, like for example, right? We had higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, right? And then all of this is part of the same structure, right? Higher high, right? So boom, the change of character. So the question is again, why do we have the line here? Right? For example, we have higher high, higher low, boom, higher high. The break happened here. I'm looking at the lowest point between here and here. The lowest point, right, is this candle here, right? So then price, when it came down, where did it break? It broke here. So then that's where that change of character is at, right? So then price gave us lower low, lower high, lower low, but it wasn't a clean break, right? It was just a testing candle. And then price gave us what we're looking at now, this high here, which we're still trading between this high and this low. Because price, nothing broke these lows, and nothing has broken these highs just yet. Anyways, natural selection, man. If you I don't know. I messaged him this morning. That's a great fucking question. Nah, then he's been gone, man. It's all good. He rather do it for free with fucking Alex G, man. It's all good. Fuck him. Fuck you, Mike. How about that? Yeah, bro. Fuck you, Mike. EuroCAD guys, same as EA, right? We still have this gap here. I do like the fact that we have the break of our zone of consolidation. Price gave us higher high, higher low. did give us a higher high. However, this is still not a valid break. Still testing. So again, ECAD right now, I'm just still sitting out from it. At the end of the month, if we have 2 months to rise, perfect. We'll look for that third month push going into next month. But we'll get there once we get there, right? I'm not trying to get early into a trade. I'm good. We have 14 other pairs to look at. I'll go find something that looks a lot better, right? There's no need to rush it, right? And then pretty much same thing as AU, right? ECAD is doing it here on the 4 hour time frame. Shoulder head shoulder. In order for us to consider price to give us a pullback, right? In order for us to consider price coming down to fill this gap before we continue that push to the top side, what do we want to see? We want to see a break of these lows. We're not getting that. So again, we just have to wait for the market to do what it has to do. It's giving us in the daily time frame, it's giving us an indication that we have 2 months to rise. On the 4 hour time frame, it's giving us an indication that's going to tell us whether or not price is going to go down or whether or not price is just going to test the lows, induce the lows to then continue that third month high to the top side. Right? So now on the 30-minute time frame, what are we seeing? Price is just moving sideways. Right? At this moment, we're still just testing the top of the zone of consolidation. So what do I need to see? The first thing I need to see on the 30-minute time frame in order for me to start really looking for trades is a break of structure of the top of the zone of consolidation. After the break of the zone of consolidation, what do I want to see? I want to see a retest. If we got a day of rise today, which we got, right, and then tomorrow we get a second day of rise and price gives us the break of structure, what do you think is going to happen on Wednesday? 372. Easy trade. That's it. I only need to catch one trade. I only need to catch one move. Why? Because that one move is going to get me anywhere between 70 to 165 pips. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a 70 pip TP. You know why? Because my stop loss is going to be what? 400 pips like these clowns on YouTube? No. My stop loss is going to be anywhere between 3 pips and 15 pips. So trading 70 fucking pip TP, I'm looking pretty good. Right? I'm looking pretty good. We are looking pretty good with a 70 pip TP. Right? So again, with that being said, just going to be patient with ECAD. There's no need to rush it. I have nothing here that looks picture perfect. We're just gonna wait it out. Is Mike alright? I'm not sure, Albert. To be honest, I'm not sure. Last time, last time we spoke, he said he was good, but he was just there. He was really busy. Um, but you know, he didn't really tell me what that busy was. He just kept it real light. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I messaged him this morning and I haven't heard back from him. Supposedly Kendall messaged him too. So yeah, I'm not sure. Oh, okay. Yeah, Kendall don't fuck with Mike that much, so he don't message him. But yeah, I message him. It's all good, man. I get it. Yeah, it's been a minute. Hope he's good though. 10 lot 70 pip TP, yes sir. That's like $7 right there. That's a bag of fries at McDonald's right there. That is. But I don't eat them though. Give me 1 second, guys. My bad. Yeah, my sister sent a picture. Fuck man, a video of the baby walking finally. Like actual taking real, more than just my nephew. Um, of taking more than actual 4 steps. Like now he's actually taking like 15 steps and standing. 9 months. That's cute. Yo, like, bro, but he was doing it for a minute already. Like, I think at like 7 months, he was already standing up, obviously falling, but like he was able to with the piano set that we got him, like that playset piano set. He would he would just hold on to the piano and just hold on to the piano and stand. And for the last couple weeks, he's been able to walk, but like he'll take like 4 or 5 steps, and then he'll fall. Um, he would crawl, get up, like he'll hold himself a little bit, then he'd fall, or he'd hold on to something and he'd fall, or he was taking like yesterday he took like 12 steps, and then she just sent a video now where he actually like got up and walked. Like what the fuck? So like he already got the strength and the balance down and everything. Well, I will say this. It's the only thing that my bad, Albert. You said can we go over the trade you took once posted? Yeah, yeah. I was gonna. If you want me to go over that first before we do anything else, let me know if you gotta go because I know I'm talking a lot of shit right now and it's probably late where you're at. If you want me to go over that right now, Albert, I got you and I'll go over that. It was on GCAD, so I'm only missing two other pairs, but let me know if you want me to do that right now. Um, I will say with him is the milk because my sister, I don't know if this is TMI, but whatever. I think it's fine. Um, at one point she couldn't produce breast milk anymore. Like her body just ran out after like I think the fourth or fifth month. So these last couple months he's been drinking formula. I definitely think that's what it is. Now is not like horrible formula. Obviously, like, it's a pretty good brand, good ingredients, but it's still formula. Um, so it definitely could be, but everything else outside of that, I like he's eating like fruits and shit. Like that's all he's been eating, fruits like avocados, strawberry. He loves avocado. He loves strawberries. Loves banana. Loves pineapples. Um, the baby food is it's organic, real, just peach, strawberry, banana. I think there's like a green beans, green. So it's not even like he's eating bullshit. Like he's eating real shit. Except for the milk. Except for the milk. So I don't know if it's because of if it's a mixture of both or if it's just one thing or the other. But nah, he is. Yup. Bullshit. The Golger cups that you look at the ingredients and it's just pasteurized and shit is not even like yeah. It's a lot. There's a lot of that, bro. But I will say, again, there's some people who unfortunately there's no other way around it. Like if that's what you could afford, it is what it is. Cause that the milk formula, even that, bro, like even like the low brands are still mad expensive. So you could already imagine the high brand ones, 40, 50, 60 bucks per case, and your baby's going through one a week, maybe less. Right? Same thing with the baby food. Like, the baby food with the GMO, that shit is a lot cheaper compared to the regular, the good ones. Instead of it being four, $3.50 like the Golger or not the Golger, what's the brand name? Oh, the baby face on it, Gerber. Yeah. Instead of buying that for $3.50, you're gonna buy another brand that's just what it's supposed to be, and that's gonna be $6. It's a So it is mad expensive. And then again, you're not just buying one, cause how many you're gonna be feed your baby once a day? Like, bitch is fucking eating. So you gotta buy how many in a week? My sister bought a case of like 200, I think. No bullshit. And so yeah, it's
and stuff like that. Like, not saying that you have to have money, But like
You
if
got to
you
be
want to
comfortable.
produce like a healthy baby, like you gotta really have some money aside to where like you add a new expense that's anywhere from $500 to $2,000 a month type stuff. So man,
All right, let's get through
man,
these pairs real quick, man. It's gonna be
all
the
right,
same examples for everything, guys. As you can see, EU looks the same as the other pairs, right? Daily time frame. We know we're in level 2. We got the break of the zone of consolidation. We're at a higher high. We have 2 months of rise. Already gave us that 3rd month push. We can see that price is giving us a shoulder head shoulder. So again, our confirmation of whether or not price is going to continue to push to the top side or if it's going to go down all depends on what price does in this area. If price could give us a break of these lows, we know we're going to continue to the downside. If price gives us an inducement of the lows, then we know that from these lows is where we're going to continue to push to the top side. So right now I'm just waiting it out. And where are we in a zone of consolidation? So again, I'm not rushing to get into any of these trades. Now, what you were saying about GU earlier, Albert, the reason why I wasn't really interested in GU is because of what I'm looking at on EU is the same thing that what I'm looking at US30. Right? Structure just isn't really that clean. Right? EU gave us a beautiful engulfing candle this morning, right? And I was awake for it because I was up to look at the GCAD trade. I woke up and I saw that one of my trades hit TP and one was still left running, right? So I was up at 3 in the morning. This engulfing candle printed at 5. I've been up since 3 in the morning today. So if you're looking at this engulfing candle, again, this engulfing candle started at 4 in the morning all the way up until 9 a.m. And again, we already know that engulfing candles, if price taps into the engulfing candle multiple times, it turns into a low probability zone. So I didn't take this trade. Very similar to GU. There's wasn't enough confirmation for me to take trades, right? Like if we are super zoomed into GU, right, then of course this looks like a beautiful trade, right? But if we zoom out and we realize where are we trading, rejection, right? Rejection, 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 right back down, right back up, right back down, right up until where? Up until it was already too fucking late to take the trade, right? Because you had the testing candle, you had the real break of structure, and then that's it. Price went straight into STP, it went straight to ADR. What else are we gonna trade? We're trading at the higher high. So this is where I always talk about high probability versus low probability. If you were to take this trade again tomorrow, right? Same thing with EU. If you were to take this same exact setup again tomorrow, you think you're gonna win or you think you're gonna lose? I promise you it could go either way. It's 50-50. Because again, there's not enough confirmation for us to take these trades. Right? We never had a break of the zone of consolidation on GU. Right? On EU, this engulfing candle has been tested for the last 6 hours. Again, that's not high probability um that's not a high probability trade. That shouldn't happen. In a point of interest, whatever zone you're in, again, in whatever strategy that you use. If price taps into your zone multiple times, if price taps into your zone, goes straight into profit, then comes back into the zone and goes back up and then goes back into your zone again, you're using that zone up way too much. It turns into a low probability trade. So that's the reason why I didn't take EU, and that's the reason why I didn't take GU either. I was looking for a GA trade and price ended up moving, but it was already the end of the session. I'm not going to be trading at 4 p.m. It gave us a nice engulfing candle though, I will say that, in the 4-hour time frame. This was one that we were looking at. Well, obviously I couldn't get the stream to work last night, but this was one of the trades that I was telling you guys. Again, we have a zone of consolidation or an engulfing candle, but we're stuck in the zone of consolidation. Right? I'm not gonna force any trades. I'm not gonna force anything that I don't really see. I'm gonna wait for the continuations, right? And that's exactly what it is. Again, we have 14 other pairs to look at that we have on our watch list, but when we're really looking at the whole Forex list, or how many fucking Forex pairs do we have, right? So we have a handful of other trades and other pairs that we could look at that look better than whatever it is that we're looking at. So there's no rush, right? I'd rather look for the best opportunity. As you guys can see, again, there's not a lot that I could talk about here. Price is just moving sideways. I'm waiting for a break. It's really that simple, right? GCAD, beautiful trade. right? GCAD is the only pair right now that doesn't have a gap at the bottom of the market. GCAD is the only pair right now that we can see the trend clearly. Higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We had at the higher low, we have 2 months to rise. This month we're looking for price to give us a new monthly high. We're already at the end of the week of the month, or we're already at the last month. We're at the last week of the month, right? And where are we? We know we got to see that new high being printed. Now, does it have to print? No, but we're going to continue to follow market structure, right? Nothing really in the 4 hour. We're just at a higher low. At the higher low internally, we got the change of character, right? Which we could see here, right? Price went from making lower low, lower high, lower low to higher high change of character, higher low. Then price came up and gave us a higher high, right? Middle of last week, Tuesday going into Wednesday, it gave us a higher low. And then you can see that all from last week going into this week, we had multiple opportunities to take a trade. Multiple opportunities to take a trade from last week going into this week, right? We had an engulfing candle here on the 1 hour time frame that we never took. We had another 1 hour engulfing here that again we never took, but the reasons why we didn't take these trades. How many times did price play in these areas? Right? How many times did price retest these areas? Right? So okay, cool. I'm cool with missing the first two trades, no problem. Because I know I could take the other one. I'm going to catch the trade, and you can see that we entered in the exact same spot. Literally, I didn't even notice this morning. We entered in the exact same spot we would have entered last week. What's the difference? Is that we went into profit without coming back every single time. That's the biggest difference. I'm trying to catch the trade every single time, the one that I'm going to get into profit as soon as I get into it. Every single time. I'm not here to play ping pong. If I wanted to go play ping pong, I'd go play ping pong. I'm trying to trade. I'm trying to make money. I'm trying to get into a trade and fucking get out of the trade in profit in less than an hour. Right? For me, I took this trade and went to fucking sleep. And then I woke up and I fucking woke up with a happy face like, holy shit, I just made this much money in my sleep. Like, who else could say that? Right? And I know that I couldn't do that if I would have taken this trade during Asia session, right? On Wednesday going into Thursday. I knew I wouldn't have been able to say that on Thursday going into Friday last week. Again, how many times did price come back into our point of interest after being in profit? You know, again, 50 pips. It doesn't make sense. I'm not going to be up 50 pips and then give it all back again. There's no point, right? So I'm going to wait for the perfect opportunity to enter to make sure that I'm catching 80 pips every single time, right? If STP is 80 pips, I'm catching 80 pips. So that's it. And then today we were at the higher low. At the higher low, price gave us multiple engulfing candles in this area. And that was another point of interest. That was also something that's telling me that this is a high probability trade. We had two 15-minute engulfings and then we had a 30-minute engulfing. So I took the trade at the 15-minute. Oh, yeah. And we had a 5-minute engulfing candle too, right? On the lower time frames. So we had multiple opportunities to enter here straight into profit. So now, again, same thing for today. We know we know that we're looking for that 3rd month high. So what are we looking for? Same thing. Another opportunity to enter. Same exact rules that we saw today is the same thing I want to see tomorrow. An engulfing candle, a retest of the break of structure. If price in the lower time frame gives us a change of character break of structure, I want to get in on the break of structure retest to continue to push to the top side. If price gives me the 2nd day of rise tomorrow and we don't take a trade tomorrow, that's okay. Wednesday, we know we're going to take that trade. And we already could see that price is going to give us that 3rd month high if price gives us this push to the top tomorrow going into Wednesday. So again, there's no rush, right? I'm cool with catching a piece of the pie, right? This pie, just to give you guys an example. I'm stupid. What's 8 times 3?
8 times 3 is 24, sir.
Right, so 240 pips. Right, out of 240 pips, I caught 80 of it. I'm cool right now. I'm not greedy. I'm not fat. Right, a piece of the pie has fucking 8 pieces of pie. You gonna eat all 8? Fat fuck? Come on. No. Hey, no. Right, no. You're gonna fucking eat 3, 4 of them, save it for later, maybe save it for other people, because other people gotta eat too, you know what I mean? So it's the same thing with trading. Like, I know I have a 200 pip range. I'm not trying to go for 200. I'm not greedy, man. I'm gonna catch with what I know I could catch every single day. And I know that I could catch every single day. I know I could catch STP. So I'm gonna catch STP. Everything else after STP is just more. Is more fucking crumbs of bread. And I'm not I can't. I got stuff I gotta do, man. I gotta look good. I can't be eating the crumbs. right? If you out in public with your girl eating a cookie, you're gonna fucking eat the crumbs of the cookie that fell on the tray or on the table?
Yeah.
No, man.
Yes.
Not gonna do that.
Yeah, I
You
am though.
greedy, man.
No, I'm not. It's just I don't waste food.
Nah, man, that's crazy work. So,
uh,
same thing with trading, man. You gotta fucking be comfortable with knowing that, again, you got your rules. There's reasons why we have these rules. You have STP. Yo, catch STP. Everything that price gives you after STP, you just being greedy if you're still in that trade. Just get out. And then you'll get into another trade tomorrow if you have the opportunity. If you don't have another opportunity tomorrow, yo, it's all good. You just caught a 80 pip trade with a 10 pip stop. Yo, Kendall, please in the chat type up what that is. Yo, that's a $10 fucking lot size. Standard. With an 80 pip TP. You guys are gonna tell me, you guys are gonna sit here with a straight face and tell me you want more? You want more than that, guys? You want more than a 10 pip lot? Or you want more than a $10 lot with 80 pips? You want more than that on one trade? We're talking about one trade. Right? And again, a lot of our viewers are from other countries that's not the United States. So let's even talk about it being a $1 lot size. A $1 lot size, you just risk $100 to make $800. A person living in another country that's not in the United States making 800 USD, you're living comfortable. You understand what comfortable is? You're living
Chilling.
so fucking comfortable with an extra 800 USD in your pocket. Come on now. You guys are just being greedy if you think this isn't good numbers. You're being super fucking greedy. So, and we're talking about one trade, guys. If you do that 4 times a month, you do that 5 times a month. We're talking about if you do that
Man,
once a week,
chilling.
right? If you do that once a week with a $1 lot, you're making more money than somebody who's living in the States working a minimum wage job, a regular
Man.
dead job, working fucking 9 to 5. You just made that working from 6 in the morning to 10 in the morning, one fucking
And it's
day.
like we ain't even talking like scaling
We're not talking about
opportunities
scaling in.
either.
We're talking about one trade. We're talking about you.
One
You place
singular
one
trade,
trade. Yeah,
bro.
that's it. I placed 2 trades today. My trade today was 2 trades.
Yeah, I did too.
So there you go. So we're talking about a $20 lot. Well, again, I can't be fucking greedy, bro. I don't want more. I don't. I'll be back tomorrow, man. Thank you to the market. I'll come back tomorrow. I'm not greedy, man. I'm not. There's no need.
158 pips, man.
There's no need. We're talking about 80 pips, bro. Again, you go on YouTube and you watch these other fucking clowns who stream. Yo, they're catching a 1 pip on the 1 minute time frame. I'm catching 80 pips. These guys are preaching about taking fucking 10 pip TP on fucking gold. Dude, are you fucking dead ass? Again, it'll be stupid of me to be greedy when we're trading the way that we trade, guys. Let's go back to a gold trade. You guys can see I don't fucking be taking trades every single day. No, I'll be fucking stupid if I'm being greedy. Like, I'm cool with STP with 115 pips. I'm cool with 115 pips. A 1 to 6 on gold? These YouTube streamers wish they could do that.
Tell
Their
my
charts look like this,
115
but
pips.
this is what their chart looks like on the 1 minute time frame. This is the 30-minute time frame. I'm catching 115 pips. Go look at these your favorite YouTubers. Go look at their page right now on fucking on Instagram. They just posted a story talking about they just caught 2 fucking pips on gold. Let's go! 12 pips on gold. We're so excited. We're catching 115 pips, and this isn't just a one-time thing. We'll go back. This is why I have this on my stream. This is why I have the live streams up. This is why I keep this on my screen. Right? Another 162 pip TP. We're not talking about 10 pips on gold. Like, yo, you have to be stupid. That's the most, what's the word I'm looking for? That's the nicest way I could say it. Right? Another one, 152 pips. Another one, 183 pips. We're talking about in 1 week. Another one, 200 and 242 pips.
Shit.
Right? Another one, 352 pips. A 1 to 24. Like, and this is all in 1 month. Again, and again, remember, November and December is the hardest times to trade. right? Keep listening to these fucking internet gurus, man. You guys are gonna go very far. I promise. Right? If you're still stuck on listening to these other people, then no one's gonna save you but yourself. You gotta get away from that shit. Delete Instagram, delete fucking Twitter, and lock the fuck in. So, now we're talking a lot today, guys. I'm sorry, but it's something, again, we don't do these streams often anymore on YouTube, but I feel like this is something that a lot of people need to hear. Because, again, it's very doable. It's just, if you don't know the right rules, again, if you don't know STP, if you don't know ADR, you don't know how many pips to. It's not your fault that you don't know it. So, again, it pisses me off when a student of ours is doing something stupid. It's like, yo, we have the tool. Why are we not using it? On top of the fact that we have a tool that tells us how many fucking pips a pair is going to do every single day, we know market structure. If you see price giving you an exhaustion candle at the highs, what do you think price is going to do? You think price is going to continue because you're praying? You're on your knees. You have the fucking magnet hammer strategy going on with your emojis. Like, no, man, get out of the trade. Price is already giving you exhaustion candles. Get out of the trade. You're already up 70 pips. Well, you want fucking 4 more pips out of that? Like, no, man. Like, come on. You're risking 100 pips. Offer 4 more pips. 4 more, please. $40 more. $4 more. Like, yo, we sound crazy right now. So,
Word to Kendall, man.
word to fucking Kendall, dogs. Anyway, GJ guys, peak high again. GJ. I'm not really trading it, so I'm just gonna skip this one. Once again, I'm waiting for continuations, and I'm waiting for better market structure on GJ. Still making higher highs and higher lows, so that's good, but no continuations at this point. Um, just gonna skip it. I have nothing to say about GJ. GU on the daily time frame, again, this is another one we're trading at a higher high. We did start level 2. We had the break of the zone of consolidation, the first zone of consolidation in an uptrend. We had the higher high, price went down, gave us the higher low. And now price is reaching the higher high. We have 2 months to rise. Price already gave us that 3rd month push. We still don't have a valid break of those highs. We already have 3 weeks of rise. Already gave us that 4th week. So again, GU already gave us the move that we were looking for pretty much for the week. And again, we just never really had the opportunity. That's what we were explaining a little bit earlier, right? Again, in hindsight, this looks perfect, of course. A double bottom, why did nobody take this? No, we have to be realistic about it. And this is, again, where back testing and forward testing comes into play, right? Exactly what I was explaining. You have rejection, 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 rejection. Where are we going? We have no break of structure anywhere. We didn't get a valid break of structure until price already gave us ADR and STP at the high of the day. So there's nothing here on GU. Now that we have the valid break, okay, cool, but where are we now? We're already at the higher highs. So right now GU is in an area where I'm not even interested to look for an entry right now. GU, we just gotta wait it out. Looks good, looks nice. I'll keep an eye on it. If we have an opportunity to trade it, if we have our rules apply on the chart, then we'll take the trade. But at this moment, I have nothing on GU. GU is looking good, but I have no trades for now. US30 is 2 days in a row where STP hasn't been hit, so expect some big moves. Let's actually go look at Forex Factory. I think tomorrow we have the first red impact or high impact news for the week for
Yeah, we got a
USD.
lot of news this week,
Yeah, so that's
including
probably what we're looking for.
non-farm employment.
Oh yeah, yeah, it's the first Friday of the month.
Yep.
So yeah, so you have tomorrow Tuesday we have a high impact folder at 10 a.m. Possibly could be looking for some moves tomorrow. And then Wednesday, right? Wednesday we have non-farm. And then Thursday we have another unemployment claim, and then Friday we have non-farm at 8:30. So yeah, price consolidating, not giving a lot of volume on US30 specifically on a Monday to on the beginning of the week, Monday, Tuesday. We already know what that means, right? We know that the volume that we're gonna get at the end of the week,
Gonna be
right,
crazy.
is going to be crazy. So it's all good, right? I'm in no rush. On top of the fact, where are we? In a zone of consolidation. Rejecting highs, rejecting lows, rejecting highs, going to the middle, and then just consolidating here at the top. So again, I'm in no rush right now. I'm gonna wait it out. I'm gonna be patient. Price gave us a zone of an engulfing candle, but that would have hit STP. Would it? Or did it just happen? Oh man, why didn't we take this
Wait, we had an engulfing candle?
in the 1 minute?
Oh,
That's
that
crazy.
should hit stop loss.
Nah, almost.
Man, that should hit stop loss, man.
Nah, almost.
Bro, a baby micro pip.
Almost, man. That would have went straight to profit.
Oh, man, I'm micro pip, man.
Man, why weren't we looking at the chart at this time, man? What the hell were we doing at 3 p.m.?
Power hour? Oh, I was gone.
Ah, well,
Yeah, I was gone.
nah, it's all good. US30 is again just in the zone of consolidation. I'm just tripping over. Not tripping. Um,
10 lot, 15 pips.
so US30 just gonna wait it out. We're gonna wait it out to see a little bit more structure. I want to see a break. If we don't get a break, we get an inducement of the high, then we know we're gonna go short. Um, USD CAD is in peak high territory, so I'm not really gonna be trading this unless I have a continuation. Once again, USD CAD is still one of those pairs that we're still downtrending, right? But we're in peak high territory. We're still making lower low, lower high, lower low. Price came up, gave us a lower high. Price just consolidated in that lower high, right? Exactly what we were talking about all of last week. Right, and this is actually one trade. Looking at this now, I forgot. This is one of the trade evasive was in. I
Wait,
think
what?
on USD CAD, if I'm not mistaken. I think so.
I
I
think
have
he
to
was
go,
in
brother. We'll go over the stream
USDCHF.
in the morning. All right, my brother. No worries. I'll see you tomorrow, Albert. Have a
What?
good rest of
He
your night, my
took
brother.
buys or sales?
He took buys on USD CAD.
Oh.
I believe. Yeah, yeah. USD CAD. Yeah. He took buys on USD CAD.
Nah, I think it was he took USD CHF and NZD CHF.
But he did take USD CAD too.
Really?
1000%.
Let me see if those buys played out on USD CHF. Damn.
Straight to profit.
It depends on where he entered at. If he took it Tuesday, then maybe. But anything after that, straight to stop loss. Dang. Where he been at, man?
Working. I messaged him this morning. He says it's working.
Uh,
He took this on the same day he took USD CAD. USD CAD was what, Friday or Thursday?
Friday?
I think so.
Oh. Oh, dang. I mean, it went to profit a little bit.
Yeah, but TP or nothing.
Some of this TP or nothing.
Nah, I think he probably had a break even or some shit. There's no way he let that shit hit stop loss. No
Dang.
way, right?
How
What
much?
he should have done is fucking take profit when price came back to these highs and gave you an exhaustion candle. This shit gave you fucking multiple opportunities. So I'm sure he
USD
took.
CAD
I'm sure he
playing
took
ping
profit though.
pong, man.
Same thing with
USD
USDZR, guys. I'm not gonna be trading USDZR. Same scenario as USD CAD. And then again, I'm not gonna go over gold, Bitcoin, or oil on stream, but I'm just gonna update them here. But that's pretty much it, guys, for today. Any questions? Any other pairs you guys want me to go over? Anything you guys want me to talk about? Anything at all? Let me know. Again, if not, then that's pretty much it for today, guys. As for the watch list for tomorrow, I don't really have anything.
Can you show an example of change the
No,
character record structure and like explain why? Cause my homie he in the stream right now, but
but
he act like a little girl. He don't wanna ask the questions.
hey, man, toughen up, man.
Tell him to toughen up.
I got you. Oil was really good too. I'm actually pissed I didn't give him my account on time. I
It
took this
had
trade.
engulfing candle.
Where?
Wait, you said that you took it already?
No, I said I tried taking it this morning when it was up here.
Oh yeah.
But that's when I found out that my account was still not
Damn.
active. Yeah, straight to profit. That shit's crazy.
Cause I had saw an engulfing candle on oil, but I normally don't even be trading oil. It was a 1 hour that I was looking at, but it
There was this one
never
in the
came back
five
to
minute, but
return.
it didn't print. It's invalid because that wick or the body of the second green candle didn't close above the wick. But I
Yeah,
was just looking at the EMA bounces and then just structure on the lower time frame.
yeah, that should look clean. Even if like we didn't have the valid engulfing candle, just how you had the crossing of the 50 and the 2, rejection of the 800, break and retest. Yeah,
So that was literally what it was, and then connect the 1 minute time frame with the EMA bounces.
yeah.
right? And then obviously price just spiked the stop loss. If you had a tight stop, you know, but if you're looking at structure, realistically speaking, you're supposed to have your stop up, right? So again, that's where the 1 minute comes into play now. You start looking at the internal time frame structure, and then obviously, you know, you could use the fibs too. You know, we don't have to make this a lot difficult, but again, I like using market structure. I don't really like using the fib levels, but because like if you would have used the fib levels, your stop loss would have been hit, right? Because if you're entering at the 50%, you're putting your stop loss on the 61,
Mm-hmm.
right? But again, this is where market structure comes into play, where you're like, okay, yeah, I know I could use the 61.8, but now connect that with market structure. Which market structure here, internal time frame, what did you have? Lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, boom, lower low. So what does that tell me? Well, okay, we're looking for the 50% retracement. I know I have to put my stop loss somewhere in the 61.8. So where am I going to put my stop loss? I'm going to put my stop loss up here. Where we can see price, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, boom. Okay. Putting that above the 61. So that's
Man,
yeah, that was the trade. And then again, the how would the trade look if we were to
cause what?
put it
Boom,
up?
break, retest at a 50.
Would have been like this. And again, you're not gonna sit here and tell me that you're
Rejection
going
of
to be greedy
stabilization.
about having a 14 pip stop loss with 137 pip TP. Again, do the math. That's a $10 lot size with 137 pip TP. How much cash is that?
Depending on your lot size, man.
That's what I'm saying. A $10 lot, right? So a $10 lot
$10 lot.
times 137,
Oh,
1,370. That's
yep.
13. So I want to just make this clear. You have a 10K account. I can't trade
10K
with a
account.
$10 lot. But I would have 100%ed that fucking account if that 10K wasn't on a Propfirm and that shit was on an actual live account.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's a fact.
Man,
Because
that's
we're
what I be
talking
saying, like,
about
bro.
a
Go ahead.
because we're talking about a 140 pip, or I'm sorry, a 14 pip stop loss. That's $1,400.
Man,
With a 10K account, I'm cool with risking a little tenner on a high ass probability trade.
yeah.
Hell yeah. So
I
there
be
you go.
doing that. Like, man, account flips.
That's what I'm saying. Like when you ask me that question, if I used to do account flips, like not consciously. I didn't know that
And, like,
that's what
not
like
like
I was doing.
intentionally,
Yeah,
yeah.
like I was just doing it because that's the only option that I had. Like I was trading
Right.
$200 accounts trying to pay rent. I
On
was I
me.
was flipping $200 to 2,000 in a month. But again,
Yep.
I was able to do that because look at the fucking trades that I'm catching. And again, like yo, this isn't rocket science. We could go back. Not me talking shit. Like we could go back into my personal Discord and we could go into let's scroll all the way up. Let's see if I could find it. Right, I started the Discord in 2021 when I was still trading. Hold on, give me a second, guys. My bad, I'm back. Right, so let's just go back into the into my screenshots. Right, we're talking about 2021. I was still learning how to trade. This was a $500 account.
One lot, 240 pips. But a one lot on Bitcoin is like, damn,
And we're not talking about 2 pips.
240.
Like we're not talking about I just caught 2 pips. Nah, I'm trading the same shit I was trading in 2021 is the same shit you guys are seeing now. Same
Hmm.
exact setup, same exact chart. I miss MT4, right? Same shit.
Yeah, I
Entry,
don't know. Like
exit.
catching like a trade on like MT5, seeing it like hit take profit. Like I don't like it's a lot of man. I don't know. It's just something about at a trader like that. They made that shit kind of just damn. So I remember like I had like my first big like few hundred dollar day on like MT5. I made like 800 on like a $200 account type shit trading gold. I think like I was risking about $100 on the eight. What that is? That's GJ. Oh, that's my FX book.
FX book. 100% entry, 100% accuracy. Yo, tell me somebody else as FX
Damn,
book says that. Yo, please, please let me know.
talking about 100%. What do
Please.
they mean?
How much pips you left on the table and how many you caught. So like how accurate your entry was compared to the exit, they compare it to how many pips. So like for example here you see how you see like profits missed. It says negative 1.40 pips.
Talking about negative 1.40 pips. Dang.
Like the minimum amount of pips that I could have caught was 4 pips, and then the max that I could have caught with the move was 24 pips.
Shit.
So exit, yeah, I missed it by literally just little 5%.
1.5 risk to reward.
But time
Yeah.
profitable 98% of the time. The drawdown that I had was 11 pips, 4 hour
4 hour
trade.
trade. Yeah. That
Had
ain't
a
bad, man.
Bitcoin 5 minute trade with a fucking 35 cent, 15 cent lot, 50 cent lot. Look at the fucking entry. I mean, are we kidding
Bitcoin.
me? Are we dead grass? Here
Talking
we
about
go.
read that grass.
This is again. Here you go. This was a
We
two
just had
hundred
a
dollar
50.
account. So
Damn.
there's not much we could say here. I'll catch you tomorrow morning. All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night. Again, guys, everything that we're saying here, we done did it already. Done did it. Vanessa been there since
Man.
the start. She'll be the first one to really tell you like, yeah, seen that shit live. She was in actually like one of the biggest trades that I caught at the time was like a US30 shit.
Right?
We were in a call and I was just catching continuations after continuations, just fucking. Wait, why don't I just do like this? Every time price would give us a pullback, I'm like, yo, get in. I don't know if she
Talking
remembers
about
that
yo,
shit.
get in.
Every single time price would give us a pullback, get in again. I caught like 4 or 5 trades. I scaled in like 4 different times that day.
Damn.
At the time, that was one of my biggest trades. Right, USD ZAR trade, that's another one. Made fucking $800 first day of the week with a fresh $200 account. So bro, like, yo, I've been done that. See you later with it, bro. Like that shit. People now, oh, I'm flipping accounts. Like yo, I used to do that shit 'cause I was hungry, man. I had to fucking eat. So
Just got paid. Said, yo, you trade prop firms.
um, do you trade Propfirms? I recently just started trading Propfirm. I actually talked about that in the beginning of the stream. I'm trading right now with Funded by Traders. We actually just passed the valuation phase. We passed it this morning with the one trade that we caught with GCAD. So just waiting to get the account activated to start taking those trades. But usually no, I don't really trade prop firms just due to the fact that I don't trust them paying me out, especially with how I trade and how much return I will get. It's I just trade live account. I trade on KOT. That's the broker that I use. So we'll see. Everybody for the last couple months, the last like 6 7 months, everybody's been telling me, man, you'll make so much more money if you just scale in with the prop firm, trade both a prop firm and your live account. But again, my whole thing is I don't want to spend $500, $400 on a 100K account. Spend 2, 3 weeks passing the account, and not only that, doing the streams here on YouTube, giving them promotions, right? Because I'm over here speaking that I'm talking, talking about them, giving out their name for free, and then offer them at the end of the day to not pay me out, you know. So it's one of those things where for me personally, like, again, I said this earlier, if you're a beginner trader and you're not going to be making a five figure payout as a beginner trader. So if you're a beginner trader and you're only going to be making, $200, $2,000, right? Let's say $2,000, right? They'll pay you out. They have no problems paying you out. Now, once you're a real trader and you're now making five figures, above five figures every single time you're making a withdrawal, then that's where it gets mixy, because that's really, again, this entire stream, like, if you just joined and you just missed us talking about the lot sizes that we use and how much money we're actually making, especially with a 100K account. It's difficult to pay out a trader making 50 to 100K per payout, so it's a different ball game. Heard Top Step is very reputable. I'm not sure what though. I'll be honest. Like I've heard good things about Top Step, Funding Pips, Capital Com, FTMO. I fuck with Q Banks's top tier trader as well. Um, I've been following him for a while, so I support what he does with that, and I've never heard anything wrong with their firm. So again, at the end of the day, if you're getting payouts, $2,000 payouts, $5,000 payouts, and then occasionally you're getting five figure payouts, then realistically speaking, again, the amount of money these prop firms are making, you're gonna get paid out. Anything above that starts getting scary. So again, that's where just kind of where I'm at, where it's, again, it's not even difficult. Like, a lot of people think that I'm just talking out of my ass, but it's like once I show stats, they're like, oh, you just keep these stats in your brain? Like, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Let me see if I can find the page before I do that. Hold on. Yeah, because I have to sign it. Give me 1 second. FBT. And the reason I want to show you funded by traders is just so you guys can see what I'm talking about, so it can make more sense. Like, this is their leaderboard, right? Top 100, right? Just so you guys can see what I'm talking about. Like, I literally just showed you guys the past 10 trades that we took. And if you notice,
Yeah.
this is everybody on the chat, so you can see everybody's account size, right? 100K, 100K. So let's just go to the 100K account, right?
6%.
Like, these guys are making six. We're on the 28th day of the fucking month, and you're gonna tell me that you only made 6%, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm telling you right now, like, it's gonna be crazy when they message me like, yo, how the fuck did you just make again? And we could go even further than this. I'm stupid. I could have been showing you guys more stats. Like, I don't know if you guys know this website. This website is
Oh
like it's a
yeah.
1v1 with the charts, right? So it's literally a 1v1 with the charts, right? As you guys could see, well, am I still in the top 25? Maybe not. I haven't played in a minute. Damn, I'm not in the top 25 no more.
Yeah, no, they got hella Elo now.
Damn.
He had 4K Elo.
I,
God
I'm
damn.
31 on the website. Damn, man. In the leaderboard, I'm 31. I gotta get on this.
But you still got like your match history though. So
Yeah, I still got my match history, so that's good. And then we'll compare it too, so you can see what I'm talking about. We'll compare it to these guys's. So you guys, so let me do this. So let me open up another page. Right? Nowhere near close what you make exactly. That is sketchy. So that's the thing, right? And again, it's not that it's sketchy that the only makes 6%. It's not that, right? Because it's okay. Like, again, you have a 100K account, 6K payout. That's fucking amazing. I'm not looking at the profit. I don't care about the profit, right? I'm more looking at the percentage gain. A 6% gain, a 5% gain, a 3% gain. We make that in one trade. We make that in one trade. So again, if I'm taking ballpark 7 trades a month, we're gonna be looking at a 20, 30%, 40%, 50% gain on the account. And again, we went again. I don't know if you just joined the stream, but we were just going over our just gold. I don't only trade gold. I trade every pair you see here on my list is what I trade, right? So again, if we just go back to gold and you can see it, imagine if I take this trade. I'm just gonna show one trade. Or I'm gonna show you the 1 week, right? The 1 week that we were looking at the chart, which was back in November of 2024. Imagine as a trader that you have this type of week trading on a 100K account. A 1 to 24, a 1 to 4, a 1 to 10, a 1 to 5. Look at the stop loss. We're not talking about a 1 to 20. We're not talking about 352 pip TP with a 2 million stop loss. A 2 million pip stop loss like these internet traders, these streamers on YouTube that we be seeing now. We're talking, and I'm not talking about the 1 minute time frame getting in and out after being in profit for 20 seconds. No, we're talking about we're catching the move of the day. So again, if you just use these trades that we caught in November, right, and you put that on a 100K account, yeah, people who get those numbers do have a fat stop loss. Exactly. Right? They have a fat stop loss and they have a what? A 20-cent lot size? Like I'm not trading 20 cents on fucking gold. Right? And that's actually a conversation that I had with one of our with I'm not gonna say his name. I don't want to disrespect. Well, actually, I don't give a fuck. That's one of the conversations I had with Evasive about like last year. I'm like, brother, you're trading 100K accounts, trading with a 30-cent lot size because your stop loss is so fucking big. So again, like we're not talking about having, and this is gold once again. This isn't AUDUSD. This isn't fucking EURUSD. No, this is gold. We're talking about a 14 pip stop loss and a 352 pip take profit, right? We're talking about a 44 pip stop with a 242 pip TP, a 18 pip stop with a 183 pip TP. Again, it's gonna be very difficult to find a Propfirm that's going to really be able to pay me out what I make. 100%. I'm telling you that right now. And again, we don't have to go so far into talking shit. Again, this is why I pulled this website up. This is obviously not prop, but this is obviously just a game, right? The simulator of the chart. All you traded, well now they have more, but when we were doing this first last month, they only had NAS 100 or NQ, right? So I was trading a 100K account on NQ, and again, this is a 53K fucking profit off of one trade. If you look at my entry and exit, right, it's just I'm stacking the entries, obviously. Oh, where's the entry price? Exactly. I'm just stacking entries. You notice it. The 50K on one singular entry model. On one singular entry model. Right? A 91% win rate. Right? 32K. Again, I'm just stacking entries. Right? And we could keep going. And again, there's a reason why I'm number 31 on the list. There's a reason why the guy of the website messaged me and told me that he's gonna ban me because they think I'm cheating, right? Until they investigated and then they saw like, holy shit, this guy's the real deal, right? So yeah, we have messages proof of that. Message proof. Again, do you think a Propfirm is gonna pay me out? You think a Propfirm is gonna sit there and be like, yo, we're gonna pay this guy $300,000 in one single trade or in one singular month? There's no way. There's no way. I know how these guys make money. So again, it's either and again, if you want to go and look at everybody else on the website, right? Nowhere near close to what the fuck I'm doing. Right? $600, okay, cool. 14K, $1,000, $400, 3K, 3K, 300, okay, cool. 11K, 1K, $40, 5K, 1K, 700, right? And again, it's not bad, but you can't compare what you just saw to this. So there you go. That's what I was wondering too. How do Propfirms make money outside of failed accounts? So it really depends. So obviously they make money. Let's just break it down, right? So they make money from people purchasing their accounts, right? Obviously, if you purchase an account, you fail it. Obviously, that's the number one on the list as to how they make their cash. Obviously, the other one is very simple. Is you don't get 100% of your profits, right? Some firms have a 70-30 split. Some firms have a 90-10 split. Some have a 80-20 split, right? 85 to a 15 split. So depends on what prop firm and what rules you get. They make a good amount of money on the splits that they get. But again, realistically speaking, if you go through all the payouts of every single firm, and again, we could sit here and we could do that thanks to Raja Banks. Let's load that up right quick. So he posted that today actually. So that's again, this is just another situation. Like, yo, how the fuck do I remember random things like this? And I don't know. I can't tell you how I know that. If we go and we look at all of these, this is his Dominion funding, right? So this isn't just his broker. This is his Propfirm. And you look at the amount that these people are withdrawing, right? It's not a bad amount, right? It's 3K, 400, 2K, 2K, 7K, 300, 4K, 4K, 5K. And the reason I'm showing you this is so you can see, like, okay, if you take the number like 600, right? This list here is not bad. 1K, 5K, 3K, 4K, or 400, 4K, 600, 4K, 3K, 3K, 5K, 4K, right? Just add 10% to that. So what's 10% of 4,000? 4135 plus 10%, just so we could get the right, so we could see everything, right? Plus 10%, right? It's $400. So off this 4K trade, Dominion Markets only made $400, right? So that just gives you an idea, like, okay, they're making a good amount of money. Sorry, I was just reading a message real quick. It's a good amount of money that they're making per person that's making withdrawals. But again, the question is, how many withdrawals are people making, right? If you don't have a good amount of people on your website, then you're not gonna get withdrawals every single day. So if you only have a 4K payout, which if you're only making $400 as a firm per week, or something like that around the ballpark, you don't have enough money. So another way that other prop firms make money is by the A book, B book. I never remember the difference. A book is when they put it on the live market, or is it B book that they put it on the live market? Kendall, do you know or not?
I don't even know, but that shit out both
That
sound
shit
the same.
always messes me up. I always forget. But whatever it is, like A book, I'll look it up right now. I think it's A book, right?
Lando, Raul, he be saying like I think A book or B book. I don't. Yeah, I don't really remember. Hold on. A book. A book trader.
Well,
A book
whatever,
versus B book.
whichever it
A book
is that it
brokers.
is.
A book brokers route all clients' orders directly to the Forex liquidity
There you go.
provider. And then after that, B book is when a forex broker operates as a market maker. Um, so
Exactly.
yeah,
So A book.
it would have to be A book then. Yeah.
There you go. Another way that prop firms make money is by having or offering the A book, which not a lot of firms do that. So that's also another way, which means again they have your account. Your account's not just a demo account. No, your account is connected to a master account that's in the chart or in the market. That's a live account,
Hmm.
and it's taking the same trades that you're taking. And again, that's why a lot of firms, I'll say this, every firm is gonna tell you that they're getting your account through a risk management team, right? 90% of the firms that tell you they're doing that, they're liars. They're just wasting time, right? To not give you your account right away. But for the most part, a firm that has a real risk management team, the reason they have that is to make sure that you could be able to get into a book. If they believe that your strategy is good enough so they can A book you, then they're going to A book you. They can't just A book everybody because they'll lose money. If they lose trades and you're A book,
Hmm.
they're done. Right? So
That's
not
the
everybody
that's
could be A
the
book.
money that they're losing too.
Exactly.
But
So
that's what like certain firms be like offering like the live accounts or like the hot
the
seats
instant,
and stuff like that.
yeah,
Because like um if you done proving yourself consistently that you could trade like what 100 pips has like their hot seat program and stuff like that.
Mhm.
And after 4 months of consistent payouts, that's when like they're
Yeah,
like
you book you, or they'll do the
yeah,
interview
and
and
give
shit
you
like
like
that.
a $2 million account.
That's crazy.
Like,
Crazy.
whoa, what? Oh, boy, they just asking for it at that point. Nigga. 2 million in funding capital, man.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Shit, boy.
But yeah, guys, that's pretty much it for tonight. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you guys want to talk about? Any other pairs you
Yeah,
guys want me to go over before we finish for the night? Let me know. If not, we'll be live tomorrow. Again, the live stream, the live session will be done here on YouTube. The live trading session will be done here on YouTube. Then tomorrow night for the isolation session, and then Wednesday it will not be on YouTube. It'll be on WAP. Thursday's trading session will also be on WAP, and then trading, and then Thursday's isolation session will be YouTube, and then Friday's trading session in the morning would be on YouTube as well. So next time I see you guys will be Thursday evening here on YouTube. But if you guys are the members on our WAP, then obviously, or in our Discord, then you'll have that. Our Discord is free to join, so if you guys want to join that, the link is in the description. That was it for me. Peace, bro. Alright, my brother. Peace out. Have a good rest of your night. Appreciate you being here and asking questions.
all right. I'll be back.
Alright. Alright, team. Peace out. Gonna leave the link for the Discord in the chat just in case. Then we out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow morning.